Financial literacy can help support various life goals. I don't care who you are, you need money to get by. Let's talk finances on Daily Dose of Reality. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Steck, and today I have a very special guest, my boy Terrence, my brother from another mother. What's going on, homie?
Stack, it is an absolute pleasure to be here, brother.
Well,
thank you.
No, thank you for agreeing to come on here, bro. Like, hey, listen, I'll tell you right now, bro. Like, no, not because the camera's on or anything like that, but I really do consider you one of my more successful brothers, which is one of the reasons why I asked you to come on here. Hopefully, we can, get some insight for the people. I have some questions to ask you. Like before you came on, I told you it's just a conversation, bro.
Sure. And before we go further, thank you, by the way. But I actually think of you as one of my super successful brothers. I mean, as I come into your home, your beautiful home, you got all these projects going on.
Yeah, all of which are unfinished.
You're doing so well for yourself. You brought a brand new car last year. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah,
you're doing well,
you.
man. So you're a prime example.
Appreciate it.
Of what I like to see.
Appreciate
Definitely,
it, man.
man.
So, but now, to get things started, right? So, something that you and I are always discussing, like off camera, is finances, right?
Yeah.
Both how we relate finances to dating, finances in our day-to-day life. Let's just face it, right? No matter how or what you're into, money is going to be a part of it.
100%.
So, being that, what would you say, or where do you think people around our age group should be financially?
That's a great question. Everyone should be in a position to take care of themselves. What does taking care of yourself look like? Being in a position to be able to not have to live paycheck to paycheck. Well, how you not live paycheck to paycheck? You balance your freaking money. You create a budget and you follow that budget. Everyone should be in a position to have at least 6 months of their living expenses saved in their savings account.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say all this costs $1,000. So if you were to not work for the next 6 months due to whatever happening in your life, you should be able to cover your bills for the next 6 months. Ideally, that's how long it should take you to get back on your feet to start working again.
I'm not going to lie to you. There's been many times where I've gotten reckless with my spending, especially on Amazon. But I think it's also very important to know when and how to get back on track when things get out of hand. Okay. Which, of course, you and I, as I said, we're always having that conversation. I know that. But to those people that are, I don't want to say like, Debbie Downers or anything, but those people that have the excuses, oh no, the 6,000, I can't do that. Oh no, that's a lot of money. I make 800 a week or whatever. What do you tell to those, or what would you say to those people?
I would say you have no business watching TV or going out. You should be burying yourself and making some extra money. I mean, the economy is in a position where so many institutions, so many jobs, organizations are hiring. You need to get out there and start working.
Yeah, and I agree. Actually, you just that statement you just made actually made me remind me of something. So, even without a job, right? I'm not saying for somebody to stay at home, but I know at least 4 or 5 people that's around my age group that is able to fully afford their living expenses strictly off of Uber.
Sure.
And what is Dash Dudes? Not Dash. Delivery.
I know something.
Shit, it's gonna drive me crazy. Delivery Dudes. And what's the other one?
There's Uber Eats, Delivery Dudes. I know.
Yeah, the point that I'm making is you don't necessarily have to be I mean, technically you're working for somebody, but you don't necessarily have to have that 9 to 5, right? But these people, I know to them it's just they like the freedom. Sure. And the freedom also, they get paid. They're still able to put or afford a roof over their head. People often share their experiences with me, just like you and I have stressful days at work. It's the same for them as well. This is how they provide for themselves and their families. So again, it is not in any way, shape easy. They put in countless hours to get a paycheck. The point that I'm trying to make is don't let or allow anyone to belittle how you make a living.
if you can, sustain your living while still being able to put money away for retirement, still being able to put money away for your emergency funds. Everyone should have an emergency fund, by the way, if you don't. Then if you can do that under Uber Eats, go for it.
Now,
Not mad at that.
if you can't tell already, my boys are very knowledgeable in this on this topic, right? So I know what you do for a living, but for those who don't, can you tell them what makes you qualified to speak on this topic? Why is it that the next man who's 25 or 29 or whatever your age group is, why is it that they should listen to some of the things that you're saying now?
I would say that, well, one, I work in the financial industry. I've been working for a bank for the past 12 years. What I do at my current institution is I help people manage their money, save their money, and grow their money. I do that because I have to put in at least, I want to say, about 36 or 48 hours of training a year, annually. And I have to also attend seminars to just keep up to date with just new things that are rolling out. But it doesn't have to be me per se. I mean, there's Robert Kiyosaki. There's a lot of people who's rich with knowledge about managing your money, finances, and, upcoming YouTube stars and whatnot. So just anyone who's just knowledgeable about it and someone who can kind of speak from not only what they're quoting, but someone who can speak from actual testimonies, someone who has examples, someone who has data to prove it.
The reason why I ask you to mention what you do for a living and what qualifications you have, right? I'll say something like the gym, right?
Okay.
Everybody has a personal trainer. Now, me personally, I don't think I've worked out with people, but I've never had a personal trainer. And one of the things that I would look for in a personal trainer is my personal trainer. You have to have the body type that I'm looking for, right? Yeah, like,
Fact.
and again, you laugh because I've seen it. I've seen heavy set dude, not healthy heavy, but unhealthy heavy dudes training people, and they're like, yeah, do this, do that, and I guarantee you that they're having these people do things that they themselves cannot do, and that's why that's why I asked, right? And I feel like if I'm listening to you, you should be a role model. If I'm listening to you, the things that you preach are things that I should be able to say, hey, he did it, so that's why I should listen to him.
That's
right?
extremely logical, yeah.
I mean, I would say it's very important to take advice from someone who practices what they preach.
I agree.
And that's why I ask, or that's why I say, why to somebody who doesn't know what you do, right? Why should they listen to you? And they should listen to you because you're in the field. This is what you see day to day. This is what you experience. And now, I think where I'm at in life, I'm doing pretty well.
You're doing damn well, bro.
And I want to do better, and I want to continue to do better. The goal is, this year and any year after that is continue to grow. That's, financially, mentally, all of it. Now, how do you tell somebody to respectfully get to this level, right? How do you tell somebody, hey, this is what you should want to do in life? Your best friend, for instance, you see that man turning up every weekend. You see that man drinking, blowing his money away. How do you approach somebody like that and say, hey, man, listen, as my friend, I need you to be at a certain level. I need you to be just as successful as I am, or not me per se, but you or somebody else you see as successful, for instance. So how do you approach that? It's simple. Hold yourself accountable for your spending habits and hold the ones closest to you accountable for their spending habits too.
That's a great question. For starters, I'm a bull. And what a bull is someone who just tell you something head up, straight up. Like, that's how I interact with my clients, and that's how I just talk to people on a regular basis. But when it comes to wanting to see someone do good, all you can do is just make the recommendation and just hope for the best. I used to be that guy who used to try to steer people in a direction of which I think would be super beneficial to them. But I've noticed as I just growing up that a person's only going to do whatever the hell they want to do. That's pure point blank. So how do I tell someone who I love and who I want to see do better? I just mention it to them. And if they're willing to listen, then I will proceed to give them examples and things to help them become more successful in that specific area in their life. It's just not all about finances, but that's what I do.
Anyone you call your friend, you should not be afraid to tell them to get their priorities together. Right? In other words, get your shit together.
But we live in a day and age where a lot of people, they want to be blunt, but they don't want to be blunt. And I just kind of take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I have like there's one guy in particular who I love very much, and I'm pretty sure he knows who he is, but I know that he can do better, but he's choosing to live a different life. And it is what it is. I mean, I talk to him, but he's going to do what he wants to do. And that's all you can do. It is what it is. You can't necessarily really, I'm sorry for mumbling, you can't necessarily force something on someone anymore.
No, and I agree.
I think that's a great question. I mean, because so many people want to buy a house, but people look at the real estate market and they're scared to death.
Listen, in the state of Florida, at least in West Palm Beach, it is horrible to rent right now. All right. A 1-1 on East Seacrest, which is in Boynton, is going for $1,500. Right. And if you're not from that area, okay, the crime rate is through the roof. So you're a homeowner.
Proud.
I'm a homeowner.
Proud. What's your rate right now?
3%.
2.1.
Oh shit! How the hell?
2.1.
When did you? How? What? FHA or conventional?
FHA.
Okay, I went conventional.
Hey, well,
So
you
no, my process when I was buying. So what I had to do is, everybody knows the market's crazy right now.
Yeah.
So, right in the beginning or during COVID, when I was buying this house, like I noticed everything was going crazy. The rates were just going up. And this house was a little bit outside of my budget, but at the same time, because of what was going on, like I still wanted a house. So every house that I saw, I guarantee, like within not seconds, but within an hour or two, by the time I'm submitting the offer, somebody else submitted another offer that's like $50,000 above the asking price. So I went through that. For about 10, 15 showings. I would see a house, submit an offer, somebody else offers $60,000 more, $50,000 more. So what I had to do is when I found this house, it was actually at market value, but the mortgage was still above what I wanted to pay monthly.
Yeah.
So I ended up just going ham more than the 20% that they were asking me. Not 20%. There's this neat little thing called mortgage insurance that you get when you put down less than 20% of your purchase price. The way it works is you got to pay sometimes $100, $200, and upwards of a few hundred, maybe more, $100 that goes towards that mortgage insurance. So in my case, what I wanted to do was I wanted to get rid of that mortgage insurance completely. So therefore, I had to either put 20% down or above the 20% in order to keep it to where I can, or to get it to where I can afford it monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, that's not ideal for anybody, but because you want to have some money saved up, right? You
don't want to be, what I like to say, you don't want to be a flat tire away from missing a mortgage payment.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I still managed. Like I said, it's not something that I had to plan on, on doing, but look, I love this house. I love everything about it. Like I said, I have like 10 projects going on. I wouldn't change a thing,
Right.
So, but again, where I was going with that question is, you and I are both homeowners. I know the process, but the process of buying a house from the banking perspective, what would you say that is to someone?
Great question, because everyone wants to buy a house,
or two or three,
and right, and renting right now is atrocious, and that's an understatement. For the people who are listening, if you want to buy a house, what you're going to need is have decent credit if you're going to come to the bank. What does decent credit look like? Yes, you can get approved if you're technically at 680. But the higher your credit score is, the more attractive rate you're going to qualify for. When you have a more attractive rate, your payments can be potentially lower. If you have a potentially lower payment, you're going to be more flexible in your monthly budget, similar to your situation when you first bought your home. So you want to have decent credit, and you're also going to want to have money saved up. I mean, money saved up can technically be, well, it will be relative to the sticker price of your home. I mean, because the person who wants to buy a house for 200,000 doesn't necessarily need to have the same amount of money saved up for the person who wants to buy a house for 500,000.
Let's be real. You will not be able to afford that $800,000 house on a $53,000 yearly salary. Don't worry, I did it too. I was on Zillow Realtor looking at $3 million houses, knowing damn well my salary was nowhere near it. I know you on there right now. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah, I like that kitchen too. Yep, the backyard looks amazing. Did you see that pool? Oh my gosh. Yep. A whole party. Yep. Yep. Would do it. I'd grill. Yep. Yep. That grill. That grilling area. Stack would throw down in that grilling area. Yes, I know. I know. It's okay.
So how much money do you need to know? So how much should you have saved up? First, you want to have an idea of your ball range. So you want to know how much you can afford. How can you find out how much you can afford? Usually, I know Google calculators offer it. I know Wells Fargo offer it. If you go to like a wellsfargo.com and you type in quotes for a home, something along that effect,
Yeah.
you can literally plug in the sticker price for a house. You can plug in your estimated
Down payment, everything.
down payment, and it will give you literally a free calculation. It takes about 40 seconds, and that's how you know how much you can pretty much qualify for. And you can just kind of go through the process with that. So now you have a snapshot of how much you can qualify for based on the figures you put in, and then go ahead and just apply for it. Call your realtor. I'm sure I know some realtors. I'm sure you know some realtors as well, and then just take the steps from there, and you can potentially close within 30 days.
Something that I did, and from speaking to many of my friends, I realized not many people know this is available. But before I bought my first house, I actually took a house buying mock class.
Okay.
The program was called Reach. I found the program, and I am going to paste a link down in the description. If you want more information about the home buying workshop, you can find more information on the website. It's reachforhousing.org, right? And that's the number for it. So that's reachforhousing.org. Each, reach something like Reach West Palm or something like that, where they literally went through the process with you from beginning to end, from getting the pre-approval to getting with a realtor, submitting an offer, getting your rates, everything. They
Right.
from beginning to end. And then at the end of the class, I remembered they had like, a few people from each field. They had a banker, they had a broker, they had a realtor, people in those fields that would actually work with you based on your credit to see, what they can do to help, or what they can do to get you to where you're at. So that's something to look up. It doesn't necessarily have to be Reach exactly, but that is something that was out there. I bought my first house in 2016, so I'm pretty sure it's still out there. A quick Google search and
Right. So there are a plethora of different organizations that you can reach out to. You just have to know what they are. Usually, a realtor should solicit that information for you. But yeah, there's a plethora of different classes that you can take in order for someone to kind of qualify, well, help them qualify more, whether that's a down payment assistance, whether that's, oh, if you move in this particular neighborhood, we'll give you X amount of dollars to go towards your down payment. There's a bunch of them out there. Sometimes it does delay the process of you buying the house, because to qualify for it, like, there's a number of steps and things that you have to do. Some people are willing to wait out that duration, and some people kind of want something instant. But yeah, if that's something that a person will be, if that's something that you'll be interested in doing, find a realtor. That realtor should be knowledgeable enough to kind of tell you at least four of them that can work for your budget.
by the way, that calculator is not only available for buying a house, it's available for buying a car. It's available for, if you're doing debt consolidation.
Yes.
Different, literally, just Google debt consolidation calculator. You'll put in the amount that you want to put together, the new rate, if any, the term, how long you want to pay, or all of it. Literally, just a
Right.
quick Google search, and you'll get all the content. Google it.
Right. So I just want to piggyback off of what you said. So these are the things that the calculator will ask you if you're looking to find out how much you qualify for the home. How much is a potential home going to be? So I believe the ranges are going to be. I believe that they're going to be increments of like in 50,000s. What is your credit score? It's going to be poor, good, excellent. It's going to ask you how much are you looking to put down. Obviously, you'll know how much you're looking to put down. It's also going to ask you, is this going to be for a 30-year or a 15-year? 30-year will stretch out the mortgage payment. Obviously, if you have a 30-year loan, then your mortgage payments will be smaller than a 15-year. That'd be your other option.
I don't see many people doing 15-year loans. The ones that I do know that do the 15s are older.
Right.
You know, they have some benefits in doing a 15-year mortgage instead of 30. And more people buying their first houses typically do FHA, being that you can have 3.5. I think it was the down payment.
Yeah, 3.5%.
So more people are you know, would rather lean towards that. But anyways, so the price of the house, or guesstimate how much. Like, listen, nobody. I used to do this. Live or have reachable. See, it's gonna sound fucked up because I'm gonna say, you know, don't be looking at no $3 million house and you make, you know, $40,000 a year. That shit's gonna crush you when you put those numbers in. Okay.
That's not going to be a problem.
Yeah,
because that's going to be the fastest way to get your cheeks out the seat. That's going to be the fastest.
That's gonna
way.
be a quick reality check for you. It's just,
Exactly.
hey, daily dose of reality. Look at that, right?
That's going to be the fastest way to get your cheeks out
Now,
the seat.
and I would say, use the calculator and steps, right? Step 1, to use that calculator, I would say use the home affordability calculator. Another question for you,
Sure.
right? Even outside of buying a house, buying a car, right? Say if for whatever reason people are have a different mindset, you know, in life, and they don't want to buy a house, they already have a car, right? Let's face it, dating requires you to have money. Fellas, those restaurants cost money. Those adventures cost money. Those trips, guess what? Cost money. Keep that in mind before you slide into Big Booty Judy's DMs. I'm not saying you have to, well, maybe you have to be a millionaire these days. But
Does that mean the beautiful girl won't go out with me if I can't buy her a taco?
I don't know, bro. I'm scared to answer that one. So, would the beautiful girl go out with you if you can't buy a taco? Me, from my experience, it's probably a no. Right?
Probably a no.
No. So,
It's
okay.
a hard no.
Yeah, you're
It
right.
would have to be.
You're right.
It would have the devil will be selling lily dillies before a girl was. For all the people who know what a lily dilly is, please like the video. but the devil will have to be selling lily dillies for a woman to say, yes, I still go out with you, although you can't buy me a taco.
See, so there goes a good reason to have or to save, right? Dating. Dating and money go hand in hand.
You should have money because money is important.
Listen, Terrence, I appreciate you pulling up, and you know, I know I called you and I told you what I was trying to do, and you instantly didn't even hesitate to say yes. Hey, you're pulling up, man. I appreciate you. You're a good and close friend of mine. You're borderline my brother at this point, and I know I say it often, but I do truly appreciate that you came through and did this for me. You took the time out of your day to help me out, and I can't thank you enough. And thank you for watching this episode. Like, subscribe, and share with your best friend. Yeah, even Big Booty Judy.